Ever wondered what rich people don't spend their money on? Well, let's debunk one myth right off the bat. There's a common misconception that the wealthy live a life of excess, indulging in the most luxurious items money can buy. Yet this couldn't be further from the truth. Picture this. A billionaire walks into a store. Instead of reaching for the most expensive item, they pick something based on its quality, durability, and value. This billionaire, like many wealthy individuals, understands that a brand name is just that, a name. It's not a guarantee of quality, nor is it a sound investment. They'll opt for a well-made suit over a designer label, a classic piece of jewelry over a diamond-encrusted watch. Why? Because these items have lasting value. They're not just about the illusion of luxury. So remember, unnecessary luxury is not where the rich park their money. They know the real value lies elsewhere. Ever found yourself buying something on a whim? Well, that's another habit the rich usually avoid. They understand that impulse purchases can quickly add up, draining resources that could be better invested elsewhere. Let's take a hypothetical character, let's call him Jack, who has amassed quite a fortune. Jack's wealth hasn't been built on impulsive decisions. Imagine him walking into a tech store, his eyes catching the latest gadget. Now, many of us might succumb to the temptation, but not Jack. He pauses, considers the utility of the device, its longevity, and whether it's truly a necessity. He reflects on his past purchases, the ones that ended up gathering dust in a corner. This moment of reflection helps him resist the temptation. Jack's method of thoughtful spending is a key characteristic of the wealthy. They understand the importance of not just earning but preserving and growing their wealth. Impulse buying? Not a trait of the rich. They think before they swipe. High interest debt? That's a big no for the wealthy. You see, the affluent understand something very important about finances. They know that high interest debt is like a monster lurking in the shadows, ready to gobble up their wealth piece by piece. It's a trap that many fall into, but the wealthy sidestep it with grace. Let's consider a tale about a successful entrepreneur. Let's call him Richard. Richard had a motto: settle debt swiftly, build wealth steadily. He was offered a credit card with a high interest rate. The glittering promise of instant credit was tempting, but Richard knew better. He understood that the interest he'd pay would erode his wealth over time. So he declined the offer and continued to live within his means. He prioritized paying off any debts quickly and avoiding new ones whenever possible. You see, high interest debt is a wealth eater, and the rich steer clear of it. They focus on building wealth, not feeding the monster. Think every rich person owns a luxury sports car. Think again. Let's debunk a common myth. Not all wealthy individuals are driving around in flashy high-end sports cars. Surprised? Well, many wealthy people value functionality and efficiency over status symbols when it comes to choosing a vehicle. Take, for instance, the story of a self-made millionaire named John. John could easily afford any luxury car on the market, from a Lamborghini to a Bugatti. Yet he chose to purchase a fuel-efficient, reliable car that gets him from point A to point B comfortably and economically. Why, you might ask? John understands the true value of money. He knows that cars, especially luxury ones, depreciate rapidly and are not the best investment. Instead of splurging on a flashy car that may turn heads, he decided to invest in a vehicle that offers longevity and practicality. He understands that a car's primary purpose is transportation, not to show off his wealth or status. John's story is not unique. Many wealthy people think along the same lines. They recognize that a car is a depreciating asset. The moment you drive a new car off the lot, its value starts to decrease. It's a fact. a brand new car loses around 20% of its value in the first year alone. Wealthy individuals often prefer investing their money in assets that appreciate over time, like real estate or stocks, rather than spending it on expensive depreciating assets like luxury cars. They prioritize value over vanity. They understand that wealth is not about the outward show of opulence, but about making smart financial decisions that secure their financial future. So next time you see someone driving an economical car, don't be too quick to judge their financial status. They might be wealthier than you think. Remember, wealth is not always about flashy displays of affluence. When it comes to cars, it's not about flash but function for the rich. Does being rich mean paying top dollar for every service? Not necessarily. In the world of the wealthy, the quest for value doesn't end with tangible goods. It extends into the realm of services as well. Now you may conjure images of millionaires haggling over the cost of a lawn service or a plumber's fee. While that might seem unusual, it's not far from the truth. Wealthy individuals understand the importance of seeking value, and they're not afraid to negotiate to get the best deal. They understand that every penny saved is a penny earned, and let's face it, they didn't amass their wealth by throwing money away. Consider the story of a successful entrepreneur. She built her fortune from scratch, and she didn't get there by blindly accepting the first price quoted for a service. No, she understood the importance of negotiation and the power of a well-researched argument. When her century-old mansion required significant plumbing repairs, she didn't just hire the first contractor who came along with a hefty quote. She did her homework, got multiple quotes, and negotiated the price down significantly. Not only did she save a substantial amount of money, but she also learned a great deal about home repairs in the process. And that's another thing about the wealthy. They're not afraid to learn and do things themselves if it saves them money on overpriced services. They understand that knowledge is power, and they're always keen to expand their skill set. Our entrepreneur, for instance, now knows a thing or two about plumbing. And who knows, perhaps she'll save herself even more money in the future with her newfound knowledge. So, does being rich mean always paying top dollar for every service? The answer is a resounding no. Wealthy individuals seek value in every corner of their lives, and they're not afraid to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty if it means a better deal. Overpriced service isn't a necessity for the rich. They understand the value of a well-negotiated deal. Taos Suris. So what have we learned about the spending habits of the rich? The wealthy often steer clear of unnecessary luxury items, choosing instead to invest in high-quality items that offer longevity and value. They're not swayed by the allure of diamond-encrusted watches or designer handbags, but prefer the timeless charm of a well-made suit or classic jewelry. The rich also curb their impulses, taking time to consider the real worth of a purchase instead of falling for the latest trends or gadgets. And they're not swayed by the fleeting satisfaction of impulse purchases. They are wary of high-interest debt, understanding that it's a silent wealth eater. They prioritize settling debts promptly and smartly avoid racking up new ones. The rich often forego flashy cars for more practical, reliable, and fuel-efficient options. Lastly, they value smart spending, negotiating for the best deals and not shying away from learning new skills to save money. To build wealth, think like the rich. Is not about how much you spend, but how and where you spend it.